Hello everybody. Most times when you see us on this channel, we are raving and gallivanting about old school, casual, dirt old Yu-Gi-Oh nonsense. Rarely do you ever see older players, especially of the likes of us, talk about current stuff going on in the game. And mainly because when we film in bulk and we try to batch record, and most of our video also the content we record has to live for 3 months at a time. That's when we used to record. But now that we record on a more monthly basis, it's a lot more easier to get you guys on a more current schedule of what's actually happening in the game. So I wanted to start a new series on this channel and call it Masters of the Meta, where me, Kisame Unlimited, and him, Spidey this Whitey 4, will decide to go ahead and dip our toes into the meta where we don't really know much. I think there'll be a good entertainment factor of us looking at these newer archetypes and go, what the hell does that do? And taking some time practicing with it and then showcasing it on camera for one person to duel, the other person to judge, and then, the person who had to use the deck has to give their, overarching thoughts on what they think about
the loser has to give you the other head.
Whoa. Like, well, there is none of that. Well, there's none of Kisame either. You see yourself out.
Hello, I'm the Ferry, and you're watching Underground Yugioh with Spidey and Kisame.
Recently, with the new release of Justice Hunters, the new release pack, we now have new decks and new archetypes entering the meta between the K9s, the Draco Tails, and the Yummy cards. And today I'm going to take a stab at using the K9 cards. So, in this video, I'm just going to give a general overview of us going over the archetype, me testing out the deck, well, the most meta version of the deck today, and dueling with it while Kisame will sit next to me and judge me as I play it, and then at the end of it, we'll give our overarching thoughts on what my experience was with the deck. Hope you like it. Let's click that like button, and let's get into the video. We got K900 Lupus. I like him. He kind of looks like Castlevania a little bit. Reminds me of Dante from Devil May Cry. That was like my original, ooh, I like him. I want to join this archetype. What is he about? So that's his first thing. He's always, when he's attached to an XYZ, he helps them gain the following effects where the opponent activates a monster card. You can special summon this card from the hand or graveyard, but it banishes it during the end phase. And during the opponent's turn, it becomes a quick effect. And immediately after this card resolves, you can XYZs using this card you control. So you can automatically make XYZ monsters. It has quick effects. It's one of the core cards in the deck. The next one is K904 Nori. Most people don't play this card because it's still OCG. So, boom. We're not even going to read everybody's effect, but just looking at it, whatever. Boom. The next one is one of the big ones that people like.
Oh, so they're like werewolf-looking cards?
Yeah, they're a little bit more like werewolf-looking cards. And
I've seen them twice, and I was like, eh. They kind of come off a little waifu-y to me, some of them, so I'm like...
That's my biggest issue, but the XYZ monsters aren't waifu-y.
No, I figured.
So that's what made me like, ooh.
That's how they always try to get you. They'll make some waifu cards, and then they'll make a couple of normal
That's
cards.
why I said, that's the one thing Yu-Gi-Oh just won't stop doing, and maybe that turns people off. Pokemon doesn't do that. I mean, people want to fuck certain Pokemon, but
yeah.
That's one. Those people need to be arrested. This card, Izuna, this is one of the main cards in their archetype that people try to use, because this is the piece that helps them connect with other level 5 monsters, because he has an effect that says if your opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, you can normal summon this card without tributing. And then during the main phase, if your opponent activated a monster effect from the hand or graveyard during this turn, you can special summon this card from the hand. So if they activate a hand trap, boom, you're going to bring it out. And the fact that if it relies on your opponent to have 2 or more cards in their hand, if you get it first turn, you can just summon it without tributing. So it's like an instant level 5. And then if you normal summon this monster, you can also send 1 K9 card from your deck to the graveyard. So most cards, people bring this out and then they pitch Lupus to go to the graveyard. So then that way Lupus effects activates and gets to bring it back and then go to another XYZ summon immediately. Joku, this is one of the other mainstays of the deck, which has similar effects. 2 or more cards in the hand, normal summon without tributing. Once per turn, you can reveal this card in another level 5 monster, so that's where a lot of people go in from the Christians.
A little too much narration. I think you should just be like, do you have any opinions on these cards? And they're like, let's get into the game.
No, I'm gonna highlight. I'm highlighting the main ones first. He splayed another level 5 monster in your hand, special summon them both, but they can only be used for the XYZ summons of a light monster. That's why people use this, and they sync it with those other archetypes between Vanquish Soul and Christian. Lantern is another one, but people only run one of these, not a big one. Then you get into the bigger cards, so then I like K9X Werewolf. That looks cool as hell to me. I like that. Any opinions on the looks of this card?
It's fine, but because the deck has waifu cards, that turns me off, so I don't want it.
Exactly. That's not... This K9 Jax is not a card of K9s. Then they have Hound, which is like... Looks like a... Well, mind you, Werewolf is like the bigger version of Hound. But I was like, oh, this looks like a nice Castlevania, like he transform type of thing. To me, if the boss monsters look cool, then it makes me not... I don't mind the waifu looking ones. Rippers, one of the main ones, which is just... Boom, detach one, add cards from hand. So this is like the searcher. So you use those other cards, and you get to this card, it helps you get the searcher. It helps you set one spell or trap card. The quick play spell cards from the deck, all graveyard, which is really good for cycling ability. And then this card also is able to negate card effects from the hand, which is what people mainly go for, to negate hand traps. That's why people like that card. Release Restraint. This just gets you into another XYZ. It's a quick play that XYZ summons. That's all that does. Three more cards. Force Release, which is like another version of Release Restraint. Summon other ones. Case for K9 is like their field spell, but just a continuous spell card that helps you search. It powers them up by 900 points. And then K9 Special Release Experiment. I don't use this card. I don't know what it does. But that's the archetype just from the aesthetic wise. I've already made a pre-version of this deck. And I made a pure version of it, which is right here. I made a pure version of the deck, which is where I'm way more familiar with. This is before people started combining with Vanquish, but I also did make a version of the deck with Vanquish Souls that's more common to what is popular today, that was topping in the tournament. So, let's use this deck right here, and let's do it. Let's see how I do. You think I get curved still?
I'll let you know how I feel when I see what deck the other person's using.
Magic fucking Celtic Guardian here. I got Niv. Pretty good. And I got Joku. Why would he play this going? Oh, I'm going first. He chose to go second. That's interesting. I'm gonna summon him first because I know he gets effects when he's played. And I can always still use his effect. What does Prosperity do? You can't do what for the rest of the turn.
Can't draw any other cards outside of it.
Now, I am not familiar with Vanquish Souls. So this isn't a Vanquish Soul card. It's a card around them, but it's not about. So I'm going to bring it Dr. Love. I'm just bringing one that I know is 3 of. I'm assuming it does something. Imagine me watching home. That's what the fuck it does! Special summon. But yeah, I know you can special summon. We have this on the field. If you reveal one Vanquish on hand, you special summon this card. No. Fire. Oh, let's do that.
You get fucking time now.
Yeah, what a great time to really learn right now in the middle of a game.
Like, it literally feels like you just started putting cards on the board and you're literally right about to have to end your turn.
I would love to see people do it. How does he know what he's doing? I don't. I'm literally just like playing what I think is good. If they had 3 of them, I'm playing. I go to certain cards that they're just. Oh my god. Yep, I'm losing. But it looks like I'm doing a lot of stuff though. These guys look pretty good. What I think?
I mean, I know that I was supposed to be seeing canines, but all I saw.
Exactly, right? I didn't really. Like, canines didn't really do anything.
Why don't you just do the pure canine? That's what you should have did in the first place.
But this is the topping deck. I wanted to use that first for the thing.
Why don't you go into a game with someone and just put no time limit? Or put like...
I hate that. No. I'm so against that because I feel if I can't get my turn off in those 3 minutes, then I don't deserve it. If you can't do what the fuck you needed to do in those 3 minutes, get the fuck out.
But you're the one that can't do it.
Exactly. I have to live by that. If it makes me lose, then that means you have to become better. Your instincts need to become stronger.
You see,
let me go first.
You see, that sounds good and all, but that sounds good for someone that isn't making a video.
Right?
Yeah. I guess you didn't quit.
So you need 2 of them, man. Without the 2, like they're not a 1-card combo, so that's why they need the extra help with the other guys. So you see, like that helps because now you see kind of where the deck falls. One thing that stands out is he has more than 40 cards in his deck, which makes me think he's a troll player. You just activate. Oh,
I'm all chummy. That hand drop sucks. I hate that go system.
You don't like Dogwood?
No, she sucks. Who cares about fucking life points?
Well, if you gain for everything they summon, you can't lose.
Oh my god, I never thought of it like that.
So you don't like a card that means you can't lose?
Yep. Because I can just beat you on my next turn.
You just beat up.
This is what this dude quits. He's just like, I don't know what your deck does, so I'm just leaving.
Is that what you would do? Is that what you would do?
No. Not particularly.
Draco Tails. Oh my god, he's actually using the other version of the meta deck. This is the one deck that I didn't make because I have no idea what they do. To me, they're like the Shaddoll because I know they fuse. So yeah, during the main phase, he can fuse and summon a card from his extra deck using stuff.
Well, so far that was kind of cool, but he used...
It's like a big scorpion.
Yeah, I think it's a scorpion squirrel.
Big scorpion dragon. Oh, but now it's Mitsurugi. Mitsurugi. You know what's so funny? I know Mitsurugi are all meta. I have no idea what Mitsurugi do.
I don't know what to do either.
And I never really seen them being used in Draco Tail. I normally see them being used in Ryzeal. There's always Ryzeal Mitsurugi. I just like playing Ryzeal.
I can't use Ryzeal because it's a little too close to the Telenite family. So
yeah, it is.
So I'm like,
it's a meta version of them.
I'm like, this is my deck. I don't want to use something too similar.
Yeah, they are just kind of like a pure meta version of that. I should have activated this, so then I could have activated full. But he special summoned things right now. Oh, what is that? If this card is attributed, add 1. Okay. But all this track card does bring it back. Special summon it, and then special summon an XYZ monster. We're using that as a material. And none of these XYZ does anything that can stop them right now, so not really. Oh, he brought it back. Let's see if he runs out of time. Yeah, I can take all of that. And then at the end of the turn, I'll do it and bring it back. Did these cards negate? No. They just have effects when they're tributed. So I guess when they're tributed for other virtual monsters, that's when they have their effects pop off. And they can kind of recycle each other, so they're kind of like a good engine, Mitsurugis. I mean, they're virtual monsters that make me think a little bit of what's that archetype? Necross.
Okay.
Yeah, it made me think of Necross a little bit, but like without biting off of other people. You have a negation? Oh, okay. Destroy your monsters or if you point to discard one card to negate it. Okay, so discard my card. I don't need full yet. Should have been full Walrus. This was supposed to be used with the other card. Okay. I mean, I've used that as bait if he tries to negate it, and I think that's his top effect. But then that's like Magic Drain, because at least it forces your opponent to do something. To be like, you have to play something. When you point out the card effect, trigger you on level 5, negate that effect, and then do shit me. These Mitsurugi guys are pretty good.
I always wanted to get into like a really good ritual deck, and it's just like I never really ever found one that kind of like fit my aesthetic of what I tended to like. They kind of don't look like they fit my aesthetic either, even though they were supposed to be paying more attention to canines.
Right?
So canines suck, right?
No, they need the 2-card combo. Without the 2-card combo, they can't do anything. So because it's a bad start, but whatever. I mean, the Vanquish Souls, but I guess I see what the canines seem to be more of an engine than an actual mainstay. Like right now, he's using Draco Tails, but he hasn't summoned any Dracos because he relied on the Mitsurugis. So that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like now in Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of these guys are this is the boss monster. I have no idea what he does, but I've seen his cards artwork in like 15,000 videos, so I know he's the boss monster. But it feels like a lot of the decks now are a lot of just hybrids.
He looks good Gemini a little bit.
Yeah, the little piece of his chest. And it's like his color palette. But it definitely just feels like Yu-Gi-Oh, well, not Yu-Gi-Oh, the main decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, the new meta is all hybrids. So it's either, the deck is either half in, like, the archetypes are either engine or boss base. So it's like you get to go back and forth between the two. But it's funny because I've watched videos where they talk about the new meta, and it's like the new meta, instead of it being like these three are the best, it's like they're like a triangle, so they're kind of like Pokemon, where like this deck is weak against what Yummies do, but Yummy is weak against Canines, the Canine is weak against Draco Tail, so it's like a nice little triangle. But I feel like that's the pure versions of the deck versus like somebody coming in and using the when you mix it in with stuff. Because I've never really seen the Draco Tails mixed with Mitsurugi. I've always just seen Mitsurugi. But, boom, here we go.
Alright.
That's it. So, what are your impressions?
I like how they could kind of like rank up just by one. I kind of like that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I mean, I really didn't get to see much.
Yeah, you really didn't get to see much of it because, like I said, generally if you get the 2 cards in hand, then that's where you get a lot more actual leeway to where you can like summon extra cards. But for the most part, my impression of these guys are their canines seem to be way more of an engine than an actual mainstay in the deck. Because like I said, like boom, you can just summon stuff like that, and then you go into those monsters, and then from there you would be able to get all your plays off. Because then once you do that, then you go into pitch one. You would pitch one, go to the spell card. Because like I said, I got negated, which is another part of it too. But it also negates negate. So like if I was to Ash Blossom it, would just negate the Ash Blossom. But then you would bring call to the 9. No, we had case for 9. You would activate case for 9. Case for 9. Add 1 from, and then you would go into your Lupus, you would go into your Lantern, you would go into one that brings out the other one, and that brings out the spell and trap cards. The spell and trap cards you use on your opponent's turn to then go into the ranked monsters that have the effects that lock down your opponent. That's all it is. But yeah, this seemed to be more of an engine than an actual like case for boss monsters. So judging these, so these are the 3 things we got to judge them on. What would you grade their artwork? How would you like their? What you saw?
For like, where am I grading? Like A through an F?
Yeah,
like,
A through F.
I'd give it a C.
Give it a C. I think that there's a lot of waifu stuff in there, but because I like Lupus and I like their the XYZ monsters, I would give them a B plus.
Okay.
Because the main guys you actually look at are the cool guys, and then their artwork's pretty nice. Playstyle from between both versions
And it doesn't seem like it does anything really that out of the box, so I would say like probably give it another C.
I mean, yeah, especially from what you saw, and then playing with it myself is like, oh man, once I saw the Vanquish Soul kind of really took a big piece of it, and they're more of just kind of like an engine that works with them, I would probably go C2. And then strength-wise, I lost. Well, the first duel I was clearly doing stuff, but I ran out of time. I would give that.
I would say maybe a D.
I
would say D since it has to rely a lot on another deck to kind of help it get by. Mm-hmm. So that obviously showcases not having a very good strength level.
Okay. I mean, well, they'll probably roast me in the comments. Be like, you clearly didn't play it the way you. I'm like, listen, dude, I literally took the deck that won the most recent tournament. That was a top 3 and 4, and that was the deck. So you can't tell me it was the deck's fault. But yeah, that's what I did. I give it about the same. But yeah, that's the video, guys.
Check out my Instagram.
Check out the Instagram, and then I would love to see you play with Yummies. I want to give you a month or give you those 2 weeks to play with Yummies. I would love to see you play with Yummies because they remind me of Prank Kid. If you want to see that, comment down below. But until then, see you guys next time. Here's a quick word from my sponsors at Kybercorp.
Stop saying it.
Hey, this is Seno Kaiba. Listen, Kisame and Spidey, I just want to tell you something. You're both third-rate duelists with fourth-rate decks. Oh, and I play my Blue Eyes White Dinosaur.